Today I'm going to share with you five study hacks that top performing students use. These students have used these hacks to help them to go from Z to A, and hopefully, it doesn't matter if you're a student or not, you can still use these ideas, these hacks to help you accelerate your success. Are you ready? I'm going to get right into it. So usually we'll spend some time and kind of elaborate on each point, but due to the time constraints, I want to make sure I give you the points right off the bat. So let's go ahead. Number one, the first one is, here we go. Are you ready? Here we go. Number one is study hard, but not long. Study hard, but not long. All right? Study hard, but not long. That's the first hack that you can use. Welcome, Rob. Good to see you. That's the first study hack that you can implement today to help you to be a more efficient student and learn faster and cut your studying time by half. So how does it work? Let's say if you have just 1 hour allocated to do your homework or to study for an exam, what you'll do is you'll divide that hour in half. So instead of just having that one whole hour, 59 minutes, straight from the first minute to the last minute with no breaks, what you'll do is you split it in half. When you split it in half, I wish I had another board. I would draw this for you. What happens is research shows that we remember the beginning and the ending more than we do in between. So that means the first few minutes or the first few seconds, or I should say first few minutes of your study time is the time that you'll remember the most, and the ending of your study time is what you will remember the most. So now if you want to cut your study time in half and increase your retention, what you have to do is divide your study time. So that means instead of studying for 1 whole hour, divide that hour, so you'll have 25 minutes, or it could be 30 minutes. So that means you'll have the same amount of time, but you're just splitting it in half, and that's going to really drastically increase your retention and shorten your study time, which is awesome. I use it all the time. And so that means if you have 2 hours or 3 hours, instead of studying for 3 hours nonstop, break it down. So the more breaks you have in between, the better it is for you, because you'll have more beginnings and endings. I'll say that again. The more breaks you have during your study time, that means you'll have more beginnings and endings. Now, when you go back from break, what you'll do is take the first 2 minutes and review what you studied the first part of that, your study hour or study time. So you just review just the highlights, and then you continue with your studying. Does that make sense? Do you guys get that? Try it. It works. It really does. It works. So study hard, not long. I'll show it to you again here. Study hard, but not long. All right, you see that? Now, number two. Tactic number two, hack number two is read the section or read whatever you need to read before class. Read it before going to class. So if you look at the syllabus, or if your teacher told you what prior to the lecture, when you do that, when you go to class, you won't have to, you're not going in there not knowing anything about what's going to be said. So you're just preparing your brain, you're preparing your mind to fill in the blanks from what you read prior to going to class. So now it will be easier for you to follow along and also take fewer notes because you read prior to going to class. Have you ever noticed this in college? Those of you who are in college, or those of you who are in high school, have you ever noticed that you would go to class, and if you read the section prior to going to class, there would be a student next to you who's just writing word for word, verbatim, what the teacher's saying, word for word, and most of what the teacher is going over is already in the textbook in the section. Now, if the person had read prior to coming to class, they wouldn't have to waste time writing word for word what their teacher was saying. So again, study hack number 2 is read the section before the lecture. Read the section before going to class. All right, do you guys get that? Good. Let's go to number 3. Number 3, this is a good one. Number 3 is going to make studying fun. Number 3 is going to make learning fun and interesting. Here we go. Are you ready? Let's go back to number 1. Number 1 is study hard but not long. Number 2 is what? Read the section prior to the lecture. Read the section before going to class. And then number 3, are you ready for number 3? Number 3 is use. You see that? I don't know if you can see it. It's backwards on my end, but you see it there? Good. There you go. So number 3 is this. Use all of the supplements that you have available to you. Now, think about this. You have the internet. You have Google. I call it Google University. You have that at your fingertips. At any given time, you can search for whatever topic that your teacher is addressing or whatever topic your professor is going over or section that you have in your book. You can search that in Google and read the blog posts, read the articles, and look up some of the book summaries that cover that topic. All right. The other great tool and resource that you'll find online is Wikipedia. Wikipedia is an online encyclopedia. Now, what's great about that Wikipedia is that it's constantly updated. You know, whereas way back when, I mean, long time ago when I was a child, we used to have like salesmen, encyclopedia salesmen who would come around the neighborhood and sell, you know, encyclopedias and say, you know, you need to get this. This is the latest version. There are updates in here. And it was just updated like a year ago. And as you know, we're living in the information age. So information, everything's just moving so fast and things are changing so fast. So back then it was in a hardcover, right? But now it's all online and it's updated regularly. So by the time, let's say, for example, if we were still using that, and I'm sure there are some places they still use the hardcover encyclopedias, but most of the information in those encyclopedias are no longer relevant because a lot of things have changed. But online, through Wikipedia, you can go there and you can access the information that you need on whatever subject you're studying. And it's updated regularly. So you can supplement that, use that as a supplement to your textbook. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? I want to know. Does that make sense? Can you tap the screen? Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. I want to make sure I'm not going too fast. I know I want to get this through and make sure I give you the content as fast as I can. But good. We have some hearts. Great. That's good to see. All right. So that's number 3. Now, number 4. Are you ready for number 4? Number 4 is good. I like number 4. Number 4, I'll let you read it. True. You're right. A lot of the information on Wikipedia is incorrect. That's true. So that's why I said Google and the other sites that you can use, but a lot of the information too on Wikipedia is good. So you know, you got to balance it out. Use it as a supplement, and it's a good starting point if you just want to get a better understanding, if you just want to have a better understanding of the subject matter at hand. But you're right. A lot of the information is incorrect because, you know, people voluntarily update it on a regular basis, but sometimes there's some information that's not correct. But that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Now, number 4. By the way, let me pause right here. If you just tuned in, my name is Nick Zizi. I am a motivational speaker. I speak across the nation at schools and conferences about student success and student leadership. Tonight, as you can see, I'm speaking about studying hacks. These five high impact study hacks that top students use. And if you use these study hacks will help you to accelerate your success in school and also in life. So just imagine a lot of these tactics, or hacks I should say, you can use after school. That means you can use it if you are studying for a license and you have to go and get a license for your job, or if you need to take continuing education courses, you can use, hey, welcome Kenny, you can use these tactics or these hacks to help you accelerate or to get the most from your study time and also cut your study time in half. So don't think that this only applies to students. Don't think that this only applies to college students or to high school students. We all can use these hacks to help us to be better learners and be actually faster learners at that. So let's continue. Number four, welcome. All right, C. Davis is here. Good to see you again. I remember seeing you this morning. All right, here we go. Number 4. Can you see number 4? All right. Is that better? Is that better? All right. Number 4 is repeat things out loud. Good evening. Yes, repeat things out loud. Number 4, again, is repeat things out loud to remember them. Repeat things out loud to remember them. All right. So think about some of the key points in the lesson. Think about some of the key points in the chapter. Right? I want you to think about the key points and just go over the key concepts and repeat them out loud so that you can remember them. Now, another great strategy is to study in a way like you're studying and you're preparing to teach someone else what you just learned. In fact, do that. If you have younger siblings or if you have older siblings, if you have your friends or study partners, what you can do is just after you study, you can call them up and say, hey, you have 5 minutes? I just want to summarize everything that I studied here today in 5 minutes. And you break it down and you're teaching it to them in a way that they can understand. When you study that way, you will retain the information much longer. You will learn the information much faster if you did it the traditional way. So repeat things out loud so that you can remember them, and repeat things also like you're repeating it and you're teaching it in a methodic way, right? Didactic in your style of delivering the information so that the person can understand it, right? So think about that, okay? That's really going to help you. I teach every Sunday morning. I'll give you a quick example. I teach every Sunday morning. I'm a speaker. I speak at schools and conferences, but on Sundays, I also speak at my church. And at my church, I do the Bible lessons on Sunday mornings. So for me, as I'm studying and I'm enriching myself, learning the material, learning the scripture, right? And learning the concepts. And now when I get up on Sunday to teach the people, I do my best to break it down, drill it down so small so that even a child can understand it. And for me as the student, for me as the teacher, I'm learning so much more by studying in a way to help me to present the information. Yes, I am. I am. So now it helps me to share the information in that way. And it helps me to retain the information, and I'm able to break it down and share. So think about ways to do that. So as you're studying, I want you to think about how you're going to present it and how you're going to explain it to someone who doesn't know, that doesn't have a clue, as no idea, right? That has no knowledge whatsoever about the topic at hand. And when you explain it to them, you want to explain it in a way that they can understand. Try it. It works, guys. It really does. It really does. So that's number 4. And number 4, I gave you a bonus on top of that. So number 4, again, is repeat things out loud to remember. Repeat things out loud, that is, to remember them. And then number 5. Number 5, and then we're done. I'm going to wrap it up right here. I promise. Number 5. Number 5, are you ready? I'll just put it up here for you. Can you see it? Actively read. Actively read. Not passively read, but actively read. What do I mean by actively read? First of all, let's talk about passively reading. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tara. All right. Awesome. Well, watch the replay. Thank you for joining the live broadcast. Have a great night. Now, look, I'm going to wrap it up right here. Number 5, I said, again, is actively read. Actively read. First of all, before I explain how to actively read, let me explain passive reading. Passive reading is if you take a book. Let me see. I have several books here. Hold on. All right, here. I have this book here, right? Passively reading is, I have the book. Can you see me? Hold on, let me bring this down. I think this would be better. There we go. All right, here we go. So, passive reading is, okay, you have the book. You have a book like this. You have a textbook, and you're reading, but you're just going through the information, the material. You're just reading. You're just passively reading. And you're not taking any notes. You're not asking yourself questions about what the author's saying or what the author means when he said that or this. And if you see a word that you don't understand, you just skip over it. You don't grab a dictionary to look up the word and write the definition and so forth. So passive reading is just reading, passively. You're not taking any notes. You're just reading. You're just reading the material. But active reading, power reading, I like to call it power reading, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But actively reading is when you are reading a section, when you read it, you go over the section. You don't read it like from just the beginning. Like, for example, a book like this, right? I'm not just going to just open the book like this and just start from page 1. No, I'm going to look at the table of contents. I'm going to look at the table of contents, and I'm also going to look at the first chapter, the introduction, read the introduction, and then I'll go to the back of the book to look at the summary of the book. Because see, in the introduction, it gives you the overview, the big picture, the big concept of the book. And then the summary summarizes all of the key points in the book. So you read that as well. Now, and there are some textbooks, and I see that a lot of textbooks have this, like at the end of each section, there's like the key points of the section. Like there are some key words that you need to know, and there are some questions that you should ask or answer, like to work on, some problems that you need to work on to help you to grasp the key concept. So try that. Before you start reading, look at the book, look at the section, look at the title of the chapter, look at the subheading of each chapter, look at the subsections, the heading of each subsection. And what I do, here's another bonus, I'll share this with you here. I was going to save this for another scope, but since you guys are such a great audience, I'm going to share this secret with you. When I read a book, what I'll do is, like you'll see a book like this, okay? It could be any book. It can be a textbook. It could be a self-help book, nonfiction, fiction book, whatever. You can do this with almost any book, all right? Now, what I do is I'll look at the subheading, right? And what I'll do is write a question mark. Before I even read it, write a question mark by each subheading of each section, every heading of each section. And if there are other, like, if there's some questions or something, but what I'll do is just write a question mark. So even on the cover of the book, I wouldn't do that on the cover, but on the inside, there's the title of the book. I'll write a question mark there. And you'll be amazed that how many questions are generated from just a subheading alone. And when you ask yourself the question, like, for example, I'll give you a quick example, all right? So let's see here. If you're still watching, please heart it up for me. Heart it up. Let me know you're still here. Let me know that you're getting value from this. I see some purple hearts. Can I see some other colors? Let me know if you are enjoying this broadcast. I know I'm going fast, but I did want to share some great content with you to help you succeed in school and also in life. So that's why I'm taking my time here. I started off fast, but I realized if I go any faster, you might not be able to keep up with what I'm saying. So, all right, look at this here. Can you see that? It says shadow testing, right? So what I'll do is write a question mark right next to it. And even before I read the chapter, I'll say, well, or the section, I'll say, what is shadow testing? So now I'm reading with a question in my mind. And as I'm reading the section, I'm looking for the answer. So that's called actively reading. Now, if I find a word that I don't understand, what do? I'll grab a dictionary, use my phone, and look up the word and write the definition down. That's called actively reading. When you do it that way, you will retain the information, more of the information, faster if you did it the other way, if you did it the traditional way. So try that, and I'm sure you'll do well. Again, here's a quick recap. For those of you who just joined us, my name is Zizi. I am a motivational speaker. I speak across the nation at schools and conferences about student success and student leadership. And tonight, I'm sharing with you the 5 high-impact study hacks of highly effective students who are A-class students, those who are top performers in their schools. They use these 5 high-impact study hacks. Are you ready? I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. I won't be able to. Hey, welcome. Good to see you. All right. Now look, check this out. Here we go. So you may not be able to see it, but I'll read it for you quickly. Here we go. Study hard, not long. Read the section before class or read before the lecture. Number 3, use Google, YouTube, Wikipedia, all right, as supplements to your studying. That's going to make it fun, right? And then number 4, repeat things out loud to remember. And then number 5, actively read. Don't passively read, but actively read. And maybe I'll do another broadcast sometime in the future, and I'll share with you the way that I take notes. I read a lot. I read a lot of books. I read sometimes 1 to 2 books per week. And right now I'm averaging about 3 books a week. And it's on different topics. So it's not just on one topic. So I'm reading. I'm also writing a lot. And I'm going to share with you some of the ways that I take notes. I don't take notes just one type of way, but I use different note-taking systems that work for me. And another great strategy, and I'll just give this to you as an additional bonus just for being here, is when I study, I use music. Some people may not be able to focus or concentrate with music in the background, but I listen to classical music, Baroque music. And you can look it up and see if that would work for you. Why do I do it? The reason why I use music, classical music, while I study is because it allows me to use both sides of my brain. According to research and studies, it has been proven that when you do listen to classical music, it helps you to retain the information longer and learn the information faster. So I do that often when I study. So just wanted to share these tips with you, these strategies. Use them, see if they work for you. Some may not work, some may work, but I'm really excited about tonight. As you can see, I have some great news tomorrow morning. Yes, jazz is good. Jazz is good, but for me, and according to research and studies, they found that classical music, Baroque music, I think it's, hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly, but classical music is much better because it just helps you to use both sides. And when you listen to music that doesn't have words too, more like instrumental music is better as well. So I listen to Mozart, I listen to Beethoven, and several others. So you can look it up. You can actually Google it and see what type of music I'm talking about and download some of the free music online or listen to some of the free classical music that you'll see on YouTube and see if it works for you. It may not, but it works for me, and it's worked for a lot of people and a lot of A-class students. When I say A-class students, I'm not just talking about students who just have a 4.0 or 4.9 GPA, but I'm talking about people who, yes, they have a high GPA, but they are just great people. They're great leaders. They're great students. So they use these study hacks, and that's what helps them to stay on top and helps them to advance faster through school and through college and through life. So go ahead, use these tactics or use these strategies to help you succeed in school and life. My name is Nick Zizi, your Z Coach. I'm going to leave it open right now for questions. If you have any questions, quickly go ahead and ask. Ask right now. I'll give you about 1 or 2 minutes. And if you enjoyed this broadcast, please heart it up. If you're watching for the first time, can I see a 1? If you're watching me for the first time, if you're watching this broadcast for the first time, can I see a 1? Or if you've watched before, can I see a 2? Can I see a 2? All right. If you don't have any questions, but just share with me. Let me know if you're watching for the first time. Can I see a 1? Or if you're watching, if this isn't your first time, can I see a 2? Can I see a 2? Awesome. All right. You got to finish your homework. I'll let you go. Great. Awesome. All right. C. Davis. No, okay. This is your second time. Cool. Cool. Good to see you all. Thank you very much for watching. Can you please heart it up? Heart it up. Let me know you enjoyed this. Let me know. And please let me know if there's any other topics that you'd like me to address. If you want to know what's my note-taking system, what do I do, what type of system I use to take notes, let me know. And I'll share that with you on maybe the next broadcast. You can send me an email if you didn't get a chance to share your thoughts or make any comments during this live streaming. You can send me an email at nick@nickzizi.com. nick@nickzizi.com. And the great news, forgot to tell you, the great news, tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m., I will be on the Tom Joyner Morning Show, which is a nationally syndicated radio show. And I think my segment will only air in the state of Florida, but I wanted to share that with you. And there's a possibility, I didn't catch that. Just put it up for me again. Can you put up the comment again? I didn't catch it. Tomorrow morning, I may take you behind the scenes while I'm in the studio at Hot 105, Tom Joyner Morning Show. So follow me for more tips and resources to help accelerate your success. I also have a free ebook. You'll see it in my bio. You just tap on the link and download your free ebook that has 30 ways to ace school and life. Let's make it happen. I'm here to help you. Again, my name is Nick Zizi, your Z Coach, reminding you today to unleash your zebra. Make it a great day.